Hi gang, welcome back to the Ornery Latina ever. Tonight's topic is going to be, I'm sitting here in my living room because this is where our studio is, and I usually kind of watch The Five Alive, and they have like a revolving chair where Kimberly Guilfoyle used to be, and they have different people taking over, and usually they have the same girl over and over and over again. The young one, the lawyer. Anyway, I'm sorry, I don't know her name, but I look over, and to my surprise, they had the judge on, and so it's commercial break, so I'm going to make it quick. So anyway, I love the judge. She's only on the weekends, and so when I get to see her on the weekdays, it's really fun. And to see her in a more of a relaxed kind of setting, it's a nice thing. But as they were talking about different things, they were talking about marijuana and how Joe Biden isn't for national marijuana because of his age. Well, you know what? My dad is like up there. I mean, I don't know. Like, he's not quite as old as Joe Biden, but like he's okay with the whole like marijuana thing. And he doesn't see it as a gateway drug, mainly because like he had some issues from the military, and so he didn't want to get addicted to anything, and so a little bit of edibles every once in a while like cures the pain. So anyway, I guess Joe's in favor of the medical part of it, but he thinks that just allowing people to smoke it is a bad thing. But what we're not understanding is that with or without his blessing, young people are going to do it, and that allows the cartels to come in and have a reason for coming, because they have a market full of people that are going to pay the big bucks to smoke it illegally. So anyway, whatever you do, Joe, it's not going to make a difference, although it's going to make a difference to you because you're already seen as batshit crazy. And you really don't have a whole lot going for you, so you should get with the times. Anyway, they had this other guy come in really late. I mean, it's like he threw his hat in so late, like it's kind of like an afterthought, isn't it? Kind of like that, Bill, when somebody is that late. Everybody's dropping out and he's dropping in, It's like, the Bloomberg or whatever. Is it Bloomberg? Anyway, I just don't know. I mean, even with him in there, I don't see any candidate that is going to come close to Trump. But Trump is his own entity, even though he has impeachment stuff going all the time, like nonstop. It's like one investigation after another investigation, and they're going to impeach him. And it's going to be just a topic for the next, what happens if he gets in, right? And they know he only has 4 more years. Are they going to continue on with the impeachment? Like, because, after the 4 years, he's not going to keep going. What would be the point in the last minute to kind of keep going with the impeachment? What would the benefit? Just to get nothing done? Just to say we did so much impeachment that we just couldn't build the infrastructure, we couldn't get the health care, we just couldn't do anything. We had our hands tied because we were spending billions of taxpayer dollars trying to impeach a guy that's not impeachable. Basically, you can't impeach somebody because they're an asshole or that you don't like them, because if that were the case of anybody losing their job, a lot of liberals would be unemployed right now. I mean, a whole lot of them would be. But they're still working. In fact, you can impeach a Republican for being a Republican, and you can actually fire a Republican for being a Republican, and you can discriminate against their Christian ass, but you cannot discriminate against the pot smoking, transsexual, transvestite, gay, he, she. You could be a super freak and hold on to your job. So I'm thinking like maybe, I should do what all the other comedians do and just like get in line with the list of crazies. I mean, because, it's like they're all like on TV, like Jimmy Kimmel and Whoopi Goldberg. And I share the birthday with those two people, and they're famous. And I don't think they're very funny. I just, I could probably put a blonde mop on my head and have it look like Whoopi's, and nobody's going to really think that would be very funny, unless maybe my Democrat or my Republican people. But you know what? The Republican people don't watch anything other than Fox. And Fox is so squeaky clean that you can't say shit, fuck, piss, damn, or any of those kinds of profanity words unless you're Gutfield and they just bloop your ass out. You know, Gutfield gets away with some of that stuff, but you know, I think they can kind of anticipate it, and they're really quick on the button before he even gets there. Maybe he gives them like, I'm gonna say something, bloop it before I get there, or something like that. But we can expect that with him because he is like the unexpectable. He is the unexpectable? Yeah, something like that. But anyway, I was at the pool today, and I was talking about things that are just really disgusting. And like, we all have those disgusting moments. And so anyway, this guy taught me some Italian, and the word was something about like, you smell like a skunk. And you know, it was an inside joke, but I thought about all these like little like phrases that I've learned throughout the years, because you know, I have family that came from Italy, and the only two words I know in Italian is fangul, you know, and you guys all know what that is, and prego, because it's on the Italian food, like it's on the sauce. I had food poisoning from that before. I really got sick. I don't know if it was from the sauce or the meat or how I cooked it. I'm not like, don't sue me for defamation of character. But anyway, whatever it was, I got so sick I never wanted to have that kind of sauce ever again. I don't know if it was the sauce in general. Maybe it was the way I made it because I was a newly young cook. But anyway, I just was curious what prego meant, because I said, that's obviously Italian. And I kind of put it in the computer, and it actually means please. Like, who in the fuck would name their sauce prego? It means please buy me, because I'm so bad and so cheap and like so disgusting that like I have to write please on my thing. It's so whatever. Like, why isn't it awesome, or you know, something else? It could be fangul. If you're going to be making people sick, you know what? You just name your sauce fangul. Anyway, I love Italian stuff, and I like it coming from Italy, not the United States. You know, so we have tariffs and stuff, and we want to make America great, and everything's great. If that be the case, stop putting so much fucking preservatives in the freaking food. Like, everything can preserve for the next 10 years, and God knows, you know, you don't need to put the fucking expiration dates on this shit, because it has enough preservatives to embalm a dead person, okay? So seriously, I'm not worried about like dying or having cancer, because I'm so well preserved that in the next few years, if I don't consume any preservatives, I have a lifetime of preservatives in my system to preserve me as long as I'm ever around. In fact, you don't even need to embalm me. That's how much preservatives I have inside my body to preserve myself. But anyway, it's disgusting, you know. And if preservatives really killed people, a lot of us would be dead a long time ago, because we consume a lot. And I think that's the reason why a lot of people are getting fat, because of all the preservatives. Because you know what? Preservatives clog up everything, and I hear they're really bad for you, because we're the only country that preserves. Nobody else puts all that extra added ingredients into their shit, okay? So, like, you know, we could maybe get a free trade agreement going over to, like, global countries, and put Kellogg's and all those sugary cereals in Africa, and we could just get our kids to eat oats, and I'm sure we would cure childhood obesity. But anyway, we don't want to fix the problems, okay? We just don't want to fix it. And I got so off task today, Bill. I was talking politics, and now I'm talking preservatives and food and all this other weird shit. But it's kind of like that Rosanna Dana moment, you know, when she started to like go on this kick about getting healthy and quitting smoking, and she talked about being nauseous and constipated and having headaches and all these other things. Well, you know, when I talk about politics, I start talking about the politics of poisoning of our foods, you know, and the fluoride and the water, and then the fill-ins and the amalgams and the this and the that and the whatever, you know. And you know what? There was some guy that was on Fox News today that was a doctor who was taking out women's uteruses without any reason. He was like putting this hypothetical thing out there saying, but then he was lying and saying they had cancer and it was HPV or whatever, OPB. Anyway, it's HPV. But you know, they have this woman on there who lost her uterus unnecessarily and had 5 surgeries. Well, doesn't it just take 1 surgery to get rid of your uterus? Why did she have 5? Maybe the uterus grew back or something. Which, you know, I had that kind of a dream before, you know, that they took an organ and another one came back and they had to operate on it again. That would be really horrible. But, you know, the doctor could make a lot of money that way. And he was from Pakistan, of all places. Yes, Pakistan. He didn't want... Maybe he was just greedy. You know what? He was doing up to 30 surgeries a day. Well, I had that feeling that I had a doctor like that, you know, and he unethically did some things that he shouldn't have done. And you know what? There was an auction right after this surgery, and he was selling this piece of tacky artwork that was in his house that he wanted $60,000 for. So, you know, he paid well over $60,000 for it. And I'm thinking, damn, you know, he must have had to rip out a lot of uteruses to get that tacky piece of shit moose, whatever that was, in his house that he wanted to sell it for $60,000. He must have paid like 3 or 4 or 10 times that amount. But I'm just saying that who spends that much money on a piece of tacky art? But people that take out women's uteruses for a living. You know, you don't have dick doctors taking out guys' dicks for a living. But Fox News was talking about it, and you guys like brought it up, and I thought I would put it out there, you know, because, you know, so often we have these serious conversations about like socialism and things going wrong and freaking China and Hong Kong and all these people around the globe that have no rights. Well, you know what? We have the right to procreate. Who are you to take out our uteruses? Anyway, with that said, you guys, I just wanted to, you know, if you guys were the guys that were having your dicks lopped off, or your ability of reproducing was inhibited because of some phony doctor wanting to do surgeries and stuff like that, guys would be storming the building. They would be protesting and rioting. Or maybe you wouldn't. Maybe you just guys don't mind shooting blanks. I don't know. I don't know. For women, it might be different. We might like having, you know, bloody messes every month. I sure in the fuck doesn't. You know, I was really, the doctor that took my uterus out, he did me a big favor. Honestly, I should have stopped after 1 kid. But now I'm glad I had more kids. I love my children, you guys. I'm just kidding. Anyway, have a blessed evening, and God bless.